morning from day 23. It's... what time is it? It's 5:17, which means that it has now been raining like this for over 12 hours straight. Now, when you're camped on soft sandy ground, that's not really good. That's not really what you want, because the ground gets saturated and stakes start to come out of your tent, even though you've put rocks on top of them. That's right. Yes, they do. So I just woke up about half an hour ago to a collapsed tent on top of me. Just one corner of it, just one stake had come out, but it meant that the far end of my tent, the foot end, had completely collapsed in onto me. I think it's also partly due to the way that I've set the tent up, which was not perfect, and so water was maybe not running off the roof properly. I don't know, but I've just had a little mission outside in the pouring rain to try and rectify things. Probably got out there at the right time as well, because I think if I'd left it any longer, there could have been another stake pop out. So, yeah, really happy about that. But it's safe to say that I won't be going anywhere today until my tent and me and my stuff is kind of dried out a bit, because at the moment it is absolutely drenched. I cannot believe it has rained for 12 hours straight. It just hasn't stopped at all. It's got a little lighter at times, but there has been no let up. It's absolutely crazy. So I'm kind of hoping that by like maybe 6 o'clock it might have just finished and somebody might turn the tap off. All I can do is lay in this tent and wait for it to stop, because I really don't want to go out in it again. Good morning. It's 7:15 now, and guess what? It's still raining. That's over 14 hours of continuous rain. The bad thing is that I can't get reception on my phone here, so I can't check to see when or if it will ever stop, because at the moment it doesn't feel like it will ever stop. Pink Panther is packed up already and gone, because she's crazy like that. I really don't want to go anywhere. Amelia's somewhere in the middle. So I think I'm going to eat this. I'm not going to eat this coffee. I'm going to drink this coffee that I've just made. And then I guess I'm going to have to bite the bullet and start packing stuff up. And just pack a wet tent up, which I absolutely hate, and walk in the rain, which I absolutely hate as well. But we can't have it like we want all the time, can we? Bye. Bye. Right, good morning, folks. Or not good morning, as the case may be. You can see that we are in the middle of a big cloud bank, and it's eased off the rain a little bit, but it's still coming down quite steadily. I don't know what the time is. It's probably like 8:30 or something like that. I can't film a great deal when it's like this, unfortunately, because this camera's not waterproof. So I kind of have to do a little bit if I can, and then put it away again. Which is a shame, because there's some nice little details that you can see when it rains. Like little droplets of water on the edges of the flowers and stuff like that. But it's the price you pay for not bringing a waterproof camera with you. We are going to be passing the 300-mile mark in probably about 4 miles-ish, I think. And then we're kind of aiming to get somewhere near Deep Creek Hot Springs today. We do have to put the tents up at lunchtime if it dries out, and get the tents dried out, because they are a real mess. carrying a lot of extra water with us. So there is Centipede. Good morning, Centipede.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm very wet.
Yeah, you wanted Pacific Northwest and you've kind of got it.
Yep.
One thing we have had to watch out for, these pine trees, if you can make out those two great huge pine cones on the edge of the tree, they're the heavy type, the really like 1 to 2 kilogram ones. So we're having to be careful not to put tents underneath them, because if one of them comes off the tree, it's going straight through your DCF and it'll probably give you a very severe headache. And we don't want that. So that's enough filming for now. Before this camera goes kaput, I shall put it away and get some more walking done. So the rain has kind of slowed to a very, very light drizzle now. And I'm hoping it'll come out on the camera, but there's some really cool clouds to store all the moisture in the air down there. If there was pine forest there, it would be Washington, basically. That would be what it reminded me of. But there's no pine forest over there. You've got all these little manzanita flowers. That's probably the most common plant I think I've seen so far that walk through. They're actually quite rigid. When you're brushing past them, they've got a good spring on them, so you've got to make sure the person in front of you isn't springing stuff back in your face all the time. But it's actually warmer than it was yesterday, even though it doesn't look it. And I think it's because there's none of that wind that we had yesterday. It was the wind yesterday that was making everything feel cold for me, and there isn't a great deal of that this morning. So I've got my sun hoodie on, then my alpha fleece, and then my waterproof jacket with the pit zips open, and I'm just at kind of a nice temperature, maybe a little bit too warm, but I'm not going to bother stopping and taking anything off just yet. I think after last night's rain, a lot of the water sources that were showing up as dry on the app are going to be flowing again, which is a good thing for the hikers behind us. There's people still to start the trail. I've heard of people with like May start dates, so it's going to make things easier for them with access to water, hopefully. But I like these. I've seen a few of these this morning and not been able to get them on film. The firs with the droplets of water on it looks really cool. So even though it has pretty much stopped raining now, I'm leaving my waterproofs on because you can see what you're fighting through here, where the trail's kind of been encroached on by all these plants, and you're basically brushing past really wet plants at all levels, head, shoulders, legs, and you're just getting absolutely drenched from them. So until we reach some open trail, I think I'll be leaving. Oh, that was a big step. Leaving my waterproofs on. So we've just been walking past this bush and seen these things hanging from it, and it basically looks like they are all, I'm going to say caterpillar larvae, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe somebody out there can correct me. That one's just got one little caterpillar on the outside. There's another one inside the bush here that has quite a few caterpillars on. You see, quite cool. Right, good morning everyone. It's not been very good so far this morning. It's been extremely wet. It did stop at one point and then 5 minutes later started up heavier again. We made it to an area called Splinter's Cabin, day use area, and it's basically like a covered picnic area. It's not very big, but it was a little bit of shelter from the rain. There was 1, 2, 3, probably about 7 hikers there already. Some of them had spent the night there on the floor. Some, like us, had just arrived this morning to try and get a bit of shelter. Obviously, once we got stopped, we got pretty cold. So we've been looking for alternatives, basically, because, I mean, everything is pretty much drenched. It's been constant. It's not very nice. So we can walk about 1.5 miles up this trail that we're walking now. We can call the Cedar Glen Malt Shop, apparently, and they will apparently come and pick us up and take us to their malt shop where we can buy delicious warm food. And then close to there, there's a little town called Lake Arrowhead, which has some accommodations. And we all kind of agreed the best thing to do would be to split an accommodation between 3 of us, which would enable us to have a nice dry night and dry our stuff off as well. So that's what we've done, and that's where we're on our way. So it'll be a short episode today, I'm afraid. So yeah, we did get some cell service as well back at the shelter, and the weather forecast isn't good for the rest of the day, to be honest. And it keeps changing from the forecast as well. So the forecast will say it finishes at 7 and it's still raining at like 9. Basically, we didn't trust the forecast. We're all soaking wet and cold, and our gear is mostly wet. Sleeping bags seem to be okay mostly. But I think in this case, the wisest thing for us to do is exactly what we're doing. Right, we just made it to the Cedar Glen Malt Shop, and it's quite cool in here. There's only hikers in here. All right, you can wave. Yeah, there's only hikers. We got a lift down. We got a ride down with the driver. They pick you up from a certain area and bring you back. So, could I have a menu, please? So, sorry about the light, but the menu looks like the burgers are all named after cars, which is quite cool. And by the way, I've just seen a Pontiac GTO Judge parked down the road underneath someone's house. Really, really nice car.
Oh, it's just like a lettuce wrap.
But I'm going to peruse this and then get me some drinks.